Finally, affordable homes are flooding the market. Well, at least that's what Realtor.com is saying. The new study from the real estate agency shows the median price is $415,500. But the number of homes for sale in the $200,000 to $350,000 range actually shot up by 20.6% in February compared to the same time last year. Here to break down what he's seeing as we head into the spring real estate market is the CEO of Compass, Robert Reffkin. Robert, great to have you. Okay, it seems to me that the average price is pretty high, to say the least, but perhaps the bigger issue is the inventory. Are we seeing more homes come onto the market below that 415,000 mark?
Yes, we have more inventory, 19% more inventory than the same time last year, and 9% more homes are under contract to be sold. More inventory is great because more inventory equals more sales. And 2023 was a year where sellers were on the sideline, but now they're back. And the reason they're back is because they are just tired of waiting. It's been almost 2 years where rising mortgage rates kept them on the sidelines, and they can only hold back those life events for so long. We call them the 5 Ds: diapers, diplomas, diamonds, divorce, and death. Those events, when they happen, movement is required.
Okay, we used the term golden handcuffs earlier, and it really refers to the fact that someone sitting on a 30-year mortgage at 2.75%, they don't want to give that up, especially in today's rate environment, and that in part is why we have a shortage of homes. Is that still a factor?
It is still a factor, but much less so. Last year in 2023, January, 72% of homeowners were locked in at 4% mortgage rates or below. And now it's 58%. So about 1% less every month that goes by.
It's interesting. We also hear that the banks continue to be pretty stingy. They have a lot of very tight requirements on mortgages. Is that still the case?
Yeah, we are still seeing more requirements on mortgage than we were in the pre-pandemic period. That said, mortgage rates, they just went back below 7% last week, so it feels good. And I would expect mortgage rates to continue to come down throughout the rest of the year.
So as we head towards the spring season, which is what, April through June, you seem pretty bullish.
Look, I am bullish compared to 2023. I'm not bullish from a historical perspective. We still have only a third of the inventory we had in the pre-pandemic period. But last year looks like to have been the bottom. Last year, we saw the lowest level of home sales since 1995, 28 years ago, and the population is 27% bigger now than it was then. And so we really had a historically challenged real estate market last year.
Are we still seeing that movement of people, those who are buying, are they moving still towards the Floridas and the Texas, moving out of perhaps higher tax states like New York and Connecticut? Is that still an issue?
Yeah, we're seeing people move to the warm weather, low tax states. So places like the Carolinas, you have Texas, you have Florida. But we're seeing a real push now in the tech hubs. And so take the Bay Area in Seattle, where the sentiment is if your stock portfolio is at an all-time high, you don't need low mortgage rates. And a lot of people that are paid at those technology companies, they're paid in equity.
Right. That's a good point. Let's talk about first-time home buyers. We know how difficult it has been. The median price, $415,000. That's pretty steep. What's your outlook for those people who are desperately trying to save enough money for a down payment and go through the whole rigmarole with the banks? What's your best advice?
Look, my best advice is to wait for the moment where inventory comes back to the market in a significant way. Because when inventory comes back, there may be a case where prices actually decline. And so I believe when mortgage rates get to around 5-point-something%, we're going to see a big flood of inventory, and you may even see price declines at that point.
Is the American dream still alive? The American dream being buying your own home, the white picket fence?
Well, I certainly believe so. I'm the son of a real estate agent. My mom is an agent, has been nearly my entire life. And so real estate's in my blood. I work with and for 30,000 agents at Compass. We're the largest brokerage in the country, selling more home volume in this country than any other company. And so I certainly believe in the home, that it's more than just a home, it's a neighborhood, it's a community. It provides a sense of belonging, and it really matters.
You know, I only ask that, Robert, because there are generations who went through some pretty tough times, saw their parents go through the financial crisis, and they're a little leery of jumping onto the homeowner ladder, so to speak. They perhaps prefer the flexibility of renting, even though none of that money is working for them. But there is that fear.
Yeah, we are seeing less people, younger people are not buying homes as much. They're renting. More so than the previous generation. And we're all seeing that the average time of owning a home is longer. So last year, the average time that a person owned a home was 13 years, while just 10 years before, it was 8. And 10 years before that, it was 6. Huh. So yes, less new people are coming into the market, and the older generation is holding on.
What would you say to those youngsters who say, no, I'm just going to rent. I'm a little too scared to put all my money in that basket?
Look, I would say that when you look from a historical perspective, more millionaires were created in the real estate industry than any other. And home ownership has a lot of incentives, not just personally, but also from the tax code to make it very attractive for you. And even if you want to move from one home to another home, there are also tax benefits, so you can roll it over to the second home depending on how much the value is. But there are a lot of benefits, again, not just personally, but also financially of owning a home.
Absolutely. We'll have to leave it there. But Robert, I'll put you down as cautiously optimistic from a family of realtors. Robert Reffkin, great stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.